We're live. Yay. Oh, that's even
It
very, very orange.
is.
And it's even chroma keying out a little bit here and there. That's weird.
Ooh, are you excited for Sunday?
No. I mean, I want to see the 49ers win because the 49ers are who took us out. So I won't feel as bad about our loss if they win. If that
Man.
makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. And I like
I,
watching McCaffrey kill it.
yeah. But
He's a good guy.
honestly, I don't mind seeing Mahomes take another one because, he is something special.
Yeah.
And
And
I don't have to like it.
Taylor Swift got best album of the year. And how cool would it be if Travis Kelsey wins the Super Bowl?
Or if he also gets best album of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where's my smokes? I need to smoke. It's the rules.
Yeah.
Oh, we got two people in here looking at us. I should probably put the chat up so I can see if they say anything. They're not saying anything, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just pretend they're not here. La da 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 da. What's up, T Town? How
Hey.
how are you doing? All right, so something really, really important. And one of the things that I hate the most is admitting when I was wrong. And turns out last week I was wrong about something. And I've been trying to think all day how am I going to go about admitting I was wrong? And I want to do it publicly because I was wrong publicly. So it just stands to reason that I should own it publicly. So last week I said that um, LEU and Bruce came out with their systems about the same time. And I received a phone call to inform me that I was wrong. And I was reminded that I met Bruce in 2022 at Tinner Battles, and he had already been selling a shoe spray system for like a year. And Elliot didn't have his backpack sprayer then. And I'm like, oh no shit, he didn't. So, it kind of brings me to a point though. In reality, what many of us do, including myself, obviously, is we'll sometimes skew a thought in our mind for whatever triggers that thought, but in our mind it'll become fact. When in all actuality, only fact is fact. What that was my belief. I believed that they came out at the same time. And once it was brought to my attention that that was not the case, then all of a sudden I realized my belief was wrong and that wasn't the fact that I thought it was. See, the fact was that Eliu came out with his backpack probably a year or two after the True Spray system came out. And I understand that to many of us that doesn't matter, but to some people, obviously, it does matter. And to me, it matters not because I care what came first, the chicken or the egg. That does not matter to me. But what matters to me is the fact that I am susceptible to believe in something or to believe in that something's fact when in all actuality is just my personal belief, if that makes any sense. And I believed what I said last week. I don't intentionally lie to anybody, but obviously I could be a liar and not even know it because I believe what I'm saying. And so it's really important, I guess, to some people that when it comes out of your mouth, I acknowledge whether it's fact or belief. Like for instance, to some people, fact is that you can't produce a complete tint job in under an hour and have it be a clean quality tint job. And actually, that's not fact. That's belief. I fell into the realm of that belief for 15, 16 years of my career because I couldn't do a tint job in under an hour. And I did everything right for my tint job. So it couldn't possibly be a quality tint job in under an hour. It just couldn't. Until one day somebody showed me that it could. And he's a guy that I had trained several years before that. And somebody showed him a trick to not repeating steps you don't need to repeat. There's so much redundancy in what we do when tinting windows that if you clean that up, you'd be amazed at how efficient you could be. In fact, he was doing just about every car in under an hour, and I had triple the time under my belt he did. And the thing was, he went to work somewhere else, and the person he went to work for had something to show him, and he was still susceptible to knowing that he didn't know everything. Once we start thinking we know stuff, we tend to stop learning and stop being open minded to it. Another another example, somewhat example of that is I saw a post, and I should have been ready with this post because I really liked it. And I think I can find it real quick. So let me take a quick look. BOTT. I would imagine it's pinned, featured. It is not rude. It's here somewhere. Okay, here it is. It says, "Hi, you all, everyone. Don't scroll. Read this. The comment below is from one of our members. All that matters here is the end result. The process in which you attain your end result is irrelevant if the end result is satisfying to both you and your customers," which is a true statement. That is fact. He says, "I want you all to read and take seriously what I have to say. One, I agree with what he said. Two, I don't like disrespectful people. Three, I have serious dislike for buying and bullies." I think that's a mistype. This is a private group and I set the rules. Perhaps many of you have not been reading the rules, reading my messages to you. So I'm going to make it simple for you. In this group, you'll always be held responsible for what. It's a long read. I'm not going to read the whole thing. The gist of it is stop degrading people, being rude to people when they don't do something like you do. Because chances are you just if you're guilty of doing this to people because you see somebody do something, and I see it all the time. Oh, you shrink it that fast, that film's going to fail, or if you two stage, you get those creases. Bottom loading's better, and if you're still two staging, you're a hack, and just and I don't know. That was this morning I read this. I actually commented on it, and I haven't been commenting on a lot of stuff lately because for a long time, for reasons I don't care to go into. But it's not because I dislike people or I don't trust people, or in fact, it has nothing to do with people. It has to do with something that happened a little over 5 years ago, and that is what it is. But I wrote, "It's a shame that I feel like I have to say that it's a shame that everyone needs to be, that this even needs to be said. Come on, people, do better." But in everyone's defense that has trouble behaving like a respectful adult, this time of year, it is most it's the most difficult time for some. God, I suck at writing in the morning before coffee. As we creep into tax seasons, many are struggling financially, and it's easier to take it out on others rather than using the time to be more productive. Remember, when you're slamming somebody for doing wrong or not knowing something, you obviously have time to improve yourself. Focus on doing better for yourself. It takes less energy and produces better results. And I don't even know why I brought that up, but I brought it up. There, I said it. And yeah, so those are the things that I felt that I needed to. Do we do PPF in our shop? Yes, yes, we do. Um, but I felt it needed to be said, so I said it all. I wished I could have said it more elegantly, but honestly, I just didn't take the time to figure out what exactly and how I was going to say it. I need to learn to turn this just a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Okay, now I'll bring this down. There we go. How's the audio today, guys? Can you hear us?
I think the
I got
audio is perfect today.
How do you know?
I don't know. I just know.
Are you watching us live?
Um, what's the going rate for a full two-door car with PPF?
I don't know. I don't have a price
It's a
list in
lot.
front of me. um, for PPF, the going rate for a full two-door car. Well, I don't know. That's a lot. A full, I don't know, 8 grand, 6 grand, 7 grand. I don't know. It's a lot. You got to just figure out what kind of time you're going to have invested in it and go from there. The best way to find the going rate, in your area is to make several phone calls and ask. Because in my area versus California versus Texas versus Florida, and not even just Florida, but you got Jacksonville, Florida, but then you've got Palm Beach and you've got Miami, and they're totally different demographics. So in your area, you're going to want to find out what the going rate is. If you call 10 different places and say a 25 or 30 mile stretch around you, and then add up all the prices and then divide it by 10, that'll put you somewhere right in the middle. It'll be wonderful.
And there's a lot of other factors too, right? Like your pre-install, like how's the paint look? Kind of a thing, like paint correction. Is there any like, I don't know. I feel like there's like a lot that goes into quoting a PPF job.
Well, there can
I'm
be.
sure I'm not.
I mean, so the PPF job is going to be a set price, but then you're going to have qualifiers like what's the condition of the paint? Do you have any stone chips? Are there any swirls? Is there any scratches? I mean, because if you put PPF over paint or stone chips and deep scratches, it's gonna look worse when you're done than it did before you did it. Is it worth doing a full car if it's a weekend car and doesn't get driven much but lives outside? Paint's 99% perfect. To be honest with you, PPF is made for impact. So my opinion, and this is not fact because everybody's going to have varying opinions, but my logical opinion is that you put paint protection film where the impact points are. So on the frontmost part of the car, the bumper, the top portion of the hood. Some people do choose to do the entire hood so you don't have those that dirt line, because the hood being a horizontal surface, if you've got a line across it, it's invisible when the car is clean, but you get a little dust on the car or you get a rain, and then that line becomes defined and you can see it across the hood. So some people do choose to do the entire hood. But then depending on how high the car sits, some people do that part just above the windshield there a little bit, and that'll help anything flying up, stones, whatever, from the road. And door edges, because sometimes you'll bump your door into something not realizing how close you were to it when you open your door, so you'll do a door edge guards. You'll do the cups under your door handles, because that's where your fingernails will scuff the shit out of your paint. And the backs of your mirrors, if your mirrors are color matched to the vehicle. And that's really all you need to do with that. If the car lives its life outside, I would also recommend getting the car ceramic coated. But you're not going to want to coat the car before you get the PPF done, because the ceramic coat's going to try to keep the PPF from sticking to the ceramic coating. So you'll get the PPF done first and then have it ceramic coated, and then you should be good. And then the ceramic coat people will tell you to come back once a year for a refresher, so to speak. Or just buy a new car every 3 years. It'll be fine. See, and that's what spawns leases, leasing cars. So you lease a car every 3 years and you don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then just keep it washed and all that stuff. There are some PPF that offer UV protection. Actually, Lobo, most PPF offers UV protection. So that is very helpful. The problem with PPF, and another reason that I don't approve of doing the entire car if you're going to keep it long term, is because even though PPF is like most of its 10-year warranty now, go ahead and leave the PPF on your car for 10 years and then decide you need to remove it. The paint protection film itself is going to be broke down to the point where it's going to be really hard to hold it together to peel off the car. And if they say 10 years, they mean 10 years, not 10 years in a day, because that's as long as it's going to live. And it's going to be deteriorating pretty quick thereafter. And PPF will end up cracking. And, you can talk to anybody who's done PPF for long enough and actually stumbled into one of those should have pulled it off years ago kind of jobs. And your car can become that too. And then it becomes more to remove the PPF than it would have costed to repaint the car. And on top of that, once you get the PPF removed, you'll have to repaint the car because of the damage caused by removing the PPF. So,
So it's like a bunch of ATR and rubber wheel.
yeah, I mean that's about the safest way to do it. And then hope. But the biggest problem is getting it off, and I'm not 100% sure that the rubber wheel is. Rubber wheel's good on small stuff, but could you imagine a full roof, a full hood,
I
full
mean,
body panels?
I've seen someone do it. It was actually Mark Haddad. He had to do a vinyl removal, and none of it was coming off, and it was bad. And he just did the most he could with a plastic razor blade, and then just rubber wheeled most of it. It was like old racing stripes on a
See,
Charger or
so
something.
so that's small real estate. So car cover invasion. That's a double-edged sword, because if you keep your car, steamer is our go-to. Yeah, and still very time consuming. Car cover is a double-edged sword. One, if you're going to put a car cover on your car, you better make sure your car is absolutely clean. On the other hand, you want to make sure the inside of the car cover is absolutely clean. That's the hard part. because you're going to take the car cover off. It may touch the ground. It might pick up a couple sticks, a couple leaves, a little bit of dirt, dust, debris while you're trying to fold it up and everything. And the next time you throw it on your car, that just becomes like sandpaper rubbing on your car when the wind blows. So you got to be careful with the car cover. Um, I don't I don't object to car covers, but so many people use them poorly and just have it, they'll pull it off their car and just wad it up and throw it in the corner of the garage, and then they'll get home from driving around for the day and they'll pull their car in the driveway and then grab the car cover and then throw it back over the car, and then they blame the car cover for the way the paint looks in a few months of doing that, which it that doesn't have to be the case. Most car covers are a soft material. The other problem too, though, with the car cover is they're not all created equal. If it's not a waterproof car cover, then dirt and stuff will soak into the car cover on the outside of the cover while it's sitting there all nice and protective, and then it rains. And then all that stuff kind of rinses through the car cover onto your paint. And then you forget about it and you don't drive the car for a couple of months, and the sun bakes on it and dries, and now your car cover starts to adhere and create patterns in your paint.
Exactly, Lobo. Just be like me and don't have a car.
Sell the car and take the bus. I like it. I have a guy that's been bringing me cars religiously since I started. The other day I tinted another truck for and charged him $0. He was happy as could be. Well, that's cool.
That's nice of you.
No, I kind of went right from buying cars that I could afford because I was a poor bitch, and they started out looking halfway decent but diminished real quick, and then I went from that to just buying a new car, and then I bought the new car, and for the first couple of years took really good care of it, and then realized it's just a work car, so whatever. And then it got paid off, and I decided to buy another one. And same thing, I took good care of it for a little while, and then decided, well, whatever, don't care. Then I got rid of that and got another one, and now I'm on like my fourth one, and I haven't taken care of this one right out of the gate. But then again, this one is to haul my big trailer around. It's a big old truck that I can't take through a drive-through car wash. I'm too lazy to wash it myself, and the only real option I have is to pull into one of those self-serve car washes, and that's messy. You come out of there all speckled and wet, and so I don't know. But I still do that every now and again.
I think it looks beautiful.
It looks very big. Takes up a lot of room, and it's really hard to park. But I enjoy the shit out of driving it. I actually just bought it I have another car that was the wife's old car. We never sold it after we paid it off, and so we use it as a spare. And my plan was to just use this truck to pull the trailer and use her old one as a daily driver. And for some strange reason, I just love driving this truck, so I drive the truck. Alex, you got a little bit of see-throughness going on in your head.
I think I just
All right.
got a magic.
Not quite.
Sometimes it like picks it up and sometimes it doesn't. I really do think it's the camera now too.
Well, the camera to an extent. Your color does look better, though. I could. Let's see here. There. Now I'm not quite as boldly colored.
I wonder how
Ba-dum-bum.
I wonder how Weimer's doing.
I don't know. He was here last week. I think. Pretty sure. Yep, pretty sure. All right, so what is the hot topics right now, guys? Let's give me something to rant about. I have not been paying enough attention to what the happenings are in
I don't know
these
if we're allowed to
places.
talk about the hottest topic going on right now. I honestly don't
What?
want nothing to do with it.
Oh, you talking about that expel bullshit? Oh, let's
Oh,
dive in. All
oh
right, I'm ready
God.
for this because I got opinions. Now, I'm going to preface this by letting you know that these are my opinions, not necessarily. How does that go again? The views and opinions expressed by Rick are not necessarily whatever. Anyways, I do have some opinions on that because, and I don't know. I'm not here to make friends, so whatever.
Oh,
If you
I
don't
see
like me,
eyeballs.
if you don't like me, that's fine. Fuck you. I don't care. You know, I was telling Alex earlier today, there's like 7 billion people on this planet. I don't need you to like me. If you like me, that's cool. I like you right back. And if you don't like me, hell, I might still like you. It doesn't fucking matter. But as far as this hounding and bitching about whether or not companies like Sunstoppers and Expel are being deceiving or not because they call their IR rejection heat rejection. Here's the problem I have with that. I understand IR is only a portion of the bandwidth in the full spectrum. Now, the almost all of IR is heat. And a lot of people want to argue that no, you need to use the teaser rating. Well, that's cool, but do we understand the total solar energy rejected is the full spectrum? So how much energy from the sun is rejected? That's not heat either. In fact, I would argue that less of that is heat in the teaser because you've got light, although don't get me wrong, there is some heat in light, but it's not all heat. There's UV, which there's almost no heat in UV, and 99% of the UV gets blocked out. So there's that, and there's just a lot in the spectrum that factors into the teaser rating that is not heat. So you can't say that, oh, my teaser is 68%, so I got 68% heat rejection. Because in reality, you have more heat rejection than 68%. But on the flip side, you're not wrong. If they've got a 98% IR rating or a 96, because I got to the bottom of that too, and a couple years ago they removed the 900 to 1000 nanometer rating, which was 98%. But their broadband spectrum of, I believe it's 900 to 2500 nanometers, is 96%. So that's why now they're boasting 96% when before they were boasting 98%. So they actually did gain some integrity on what they're showing. Although a lot of their dealers didn't get the memo and realized that, hey, maybe we shouldn't put the 98%. But I've got no objection to somebody saying if you've got a 96% IR rejection, if you tell people you got 96% heat rejection, almost 100% of IR is heat. So are you lying to them? No. And if you don't believe me, go stand in front of the sun and hold your hand out here like this in front of the sun or a clear piece of glass, and then put the film in front of your hand, and you're going to feel the difference. You just are. So,
Did you see Lobo's comment?
no, I didn't. I can't talk and read at the same time, Alex.
Well,
But
Roberto corrected you, but then Lobo came in hot.
the opinions expressed within well, maybe you should read it because I've
The
got my mind
opinions
focused.
the opinions expressed within the content are solely the authors and do not reflect the opinions and beliefs of the website and its affiliates. Lobo says listening to this stream may cause hair loss, halitosis, anal leakage, and death. Talk to your doctor before listening.
Facts. Facts. What would you recommend as the best percentage tint for a front storm door on a residential house? To reflect heat away from an interior door. So here's where it gets sticky because a lot of this is going to be opinion. But what you're going to want is the most heat rejection and reflectivity. You're going to want to reflect as much heat as possible. Because one thing about a storm door, when you got another door right inside of it, and yeah, my fingers do look funny. What's that all about? That's weird.
Yeah, you're like
Who
animated.
knows? I am. Well, I eliminated a lot of the little gimmicky shit that I had running through this, and so I probably got to readjust everything, but whatever. Um, so yeah, if you absorb a little bit of extra heat into the glass rather than reflect it, the radiant heat is still going to heat up the interior door. But what you're going to find is, and I don't know, people might want to fight me over this one, but whatever. Honestly, good old fashioned silver 20. And I don't typically try to sell silver to residential customers because at night it becomes a mirror inside your house and it sucks. But if you're trying to keep as much heat as possible away from your door, silver, if you look at the specs on anybody's silver over their sputtered, over their ceramics, over their anything, it's got less absorption, more reflectivity, and better heat rejection. So it's silver, even though it's the oldest technology in flat glass film, it's still the highest performing technology in flat glass film. And it's the cheapest. So there's that. But the problem with doing a door reflective, which is what I'd normally offer residential customers, is that the black backing on the film is going to start to absorb a little bit more, which is going to warm up the. Um, it's not illegal to have mirror level reflection on a storm door, and mirror rejects the heat the most. Yes, correct. But don't expect that film to do magic. My father in law's house faces, his front door faces west. So he gets the west setting sun. And um, again, a DR20 is door reflective. It's got a black inside, so it's going to absorb more heat. But like I was just about to say, the silver film, as good as it does, it's not perfect. So with his house facing west, I put silver 20 on his storm door because he's got a steel door, and that steel door gets hot and it just radiates into the house. You can still walk up to that steel door in July or August, and at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, 7 o'clock in the afternoon, when the sun's at the perfect angle hitting that door, you put your hand on the inside of the door and it has heat and it's quite warm. Then you have to rely on your memory to remember you couldn't hold your hand on the door prior to me putting the film on it. So it's not a magic trick. It's just very helpful. And I don't know. In dealing with as many customers as I've dealt with, I feel like I have to tell everybody that stuff because too many people think that it's magic. And it just, if you're blocking 80, and here you go. I don't know. Do we have specs on Solar Guard Silver 20, don't we?
Yeah, it's in the I don't know where it's at. Oh, it's on the it's on our website.
Yeah, I'm looking. So, like for instance, let's come in here and we've got silver 20 HC. Is that what we'd be looking at?
Yep. And then it would be under the descriptions tab next to reviews.
So on that, and they've reduced some of the metal in the film, so it's actually brought down the energy, the total solar energy, the teaser, but it's 77%, which is still pretty huge. And 83% fade reduction, 99% UV blockage. They don't give you an IR rejection either, but believe it or not, your metallized films do have IR rejection. They never focused on it before when they should have, because maybe then ceramic films never would have came out. Who knows? But metallized films these days are a lot different than they were back when I was first getting into it, because we didn't have the technology and the interference problems that we do now. So they really had to lighten up on the metal layers. They had to layer the film different than when they manufacture it so that it doesn't create as many disruptions. But so you're looking at silver 20 being 77% versus, look at Sentinel plus silver. That's an exterior film, right?
Yeah.
And that has total solar energy rejection of 82%. All right, class. Can anybody tell me why the exterior silver has more heat rejection or total solar energy rejection than the than the interior silver? Because as
Is
far
it
as I know, they got the same shit inside.
is it the refracting from the glass? The glass
Sort
acts
of.
like a magnifier.
Almost. You're close. So the glass is actually an insulator, which can also be susceptible to heat gain. So if the film is on the inside and the light hits it and reflects the heat and everything away from it, then the heat goes through the glass into the film and then back through the glass again. So the glass is going to still get warmer. Well, the radiant portion of the heat that's coming off of that glass is factored into the teaser. So when you put that same film on the outside, now the glass is up, getting back in front. This is the glass, this is the film, and this is the sun. It hits the film and bounces it off, where that keeps the glass much cooler. So, if anybody ever asks you which is better, interior or exterior film, there's one factor that makes exterior film better or more capable than an interior film. And it's pretty much true in all cases. The downfall is exterior film, depending on the part of the country that you live in or the part of the world even, is susceptible to nature. And although they construct the film differently, so your scratch coat and UV coating is now on the outside of the film together on exterior film. On interior film, the UV coating is in the adhesive and the scratch coating is on the surface. So that's one big difference. Another difference is like a dual reflective. An exterior dual reflective is going to have the black on the adhesive side and the silver on the other side. And there's not as huge of a difference in a dual reflective exterior, versus interior. But let's look at, so we have total solar energy rejected 82% with the exterior silver 20. So let's look at, go back to solar guard. We'll go dual reflective. Oh, exterior. Let's go to exterior. So 82%. Now we'll go with dual reflective. Would that be the stainless steel?
Yes. No, stainless steel is neutral. It'd be
It
true.
is.
True view.
We don't have a dual reflective exterior?
Um
Rude.
yes.
Okay, we'll go to dual reflective. Whatever. So we'll go true view. I don't have a 20. I got 15, 30. So we'll go with 15. We'll go just a hair darker. We'll go down here to description. And total solar energy rejected 79%. So they're actually boasting higher. That's weird. How do they do that?
Here, I can give you, hold on. I'm gonna private message it to you. In the Restream private chat, there's a link to all their DX line. That's their dual reflective exterior.
How come we don't sell that?
We do sell it. I just don't understand why there's not a product page for it.
See, and so theirs even shows the IR rejection from 780 to 2500 nanometers. They're saying 77% IR rejection on their exterior dual reflective and total solar. Where is it? Total solar energy rejected is 77%. You gave me a UK website, didn't you?
No. Oh, I did, but still, the stats are the same.
Well, I was just wondering why it had different languages.
The stats should still be the same. So if you click like one of the sample pages, it should give you
Yes.
stats for that particular film.
So it's curious. See, that boils down to, which also makes it good that I'm looking at this because I'm telling you what I know, which is actually what I believe, what I've grown to know. But to be honest with you, a lot of technology has changed in flat glass, and I have not been paying enough attention to some of the things they've been doing different. So dual reflective films come a long ways. That's exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that they're putting on, dun, dun, dun. The fact that light to solar heat gain ratio, what does that even mean? I am not the
I don't.
authority on flat glass film. I've learned my share over the years, but again, not the authority.
I
Wish
just
there
know about
was.
the solar heat gain coefficient. That's just the fraction of solar radiation emitted through a window, um, either transmitted directly or absorbed and subsequently released as heat inside the home. The lower the solar heat gain coefficient, the less solar heat is transmitted and the greater its shading ability. So, a product with a high solar heat gain coefficient rating is more effective at collecting the solar heat during the winter. A product with low solar heat gain coefficient rating is more effective at reducing cooling loads during the summer by blocking heat gain from the sun.
How many people think that Alex is just reading off their website?
I actually read that off of energy.gov because I looked
Oh,
it up
wow.
earlier and I still
That's
have it up.
that's exciting.
Yeah,
There's
government
information out there.
funded data.
And
Government funded.
anytime you can find third-party information like that, you got to make sure that the source is good, but it's probably better than getting it from a manufacturer's website, because most manufacturers will attempt to take some things out of context just a little bit. And so
Well, so like I understand why the government has it, because I remember there's that whole project that they did with Energy Star to kind of like make houses go greener and energy saving. So they
mhm.
publish this data to like kind of set a standard for like how windows need to be manufactured, and people looking to improve like their heat bill or air conditioning, like the type of stats they should be looking at to help their decision on, you know, new
And we
windows,
just
or in our case
adapt that
tint.
information into window tint because
I mean,
it
it's all data, it's all math. So like, you know,
right.
there's a benchmark for almost everything. So I mean, all you got to do is just factor in different things, and you come out with what you need to know.
Did our why you know what? I need to fix this. I just do. I'm gonna figure out how. We just here's here. That is bothering the shit out of me.
Change your line stroke color. I'm just kidding. Oh, that kind of helps.
That help? That's way more better.
Yeah.
Wait, well, not 100%, but it's definitely better. How about yeah, I think I can live with that much better.
T-Town says he's been hearing that even the warmer states have been slow this year.
Yeah,
I was just talking to Tallman. He called to check up on me and see how I was doing. And I'm like, how are things going down in Georgia? And he was like, terrible. So like,
yeah.
okay.
Well, I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, Southern State people. Oh God, Tim Spud's calling me. Hold on a second.
Yeah, that smoke did look pretty wild, Lobo. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I haven't tinted a car in over a month. It's just dead over here for me. I think I have a complete coming up. A Silverado I did, I don't know, about a month ago, which is actually the last car I tinted.
Huh. Goodness gracious. She forgot I was on Tool Talk.
Oh,
I'm like, right now? And she's like, yeah. I says, okay, can it wait 10 minutes? I'm on Tool Talk. And she's like, oh my God.
Now she's gonna join us. Wait for you to get off.
By the way, if anybody's got Mary Dunham High on their friends list, today is her birthday. So maybe we could all wish her a happy birthday because she would really, really appreciate that. And for the record, I have not wished her a happy birthday yet. She probably thinks that I don't even know it's her birthday, but shh.
Dude, Lobo, I am feeling you right now. And like, call me crazy, but like, I'm buying a house because rent is just stupid. So, I'll pull a loan so I can have a mortgage payment that's cheaper than my rent. And I get a bigger house.
Yeah, like 50% bigger.
Hell yeah.
Ain't not, does that house have a basement?
Yeah, it's got a secret basement.
Wait a minute, your house now has a secret basement and we don't like it.
No, this secret basement's better. It's an actual basement, but it's a secret because the house is built on a slab, but it's got a extension addition. It's got an addition, but the addition is built on a basement. But there's no like staircase. Well, there is a staircase. You just don't know there's a staircase. You know how some houses, like in the closet, it'll have like a patch of carpet you can pull up, and there's like a hatch door to the crawl space.
Uh huh.
It's got one of those, but it's a staircase, and it goes to
Oh
the
my God,
basement.
like the murder movies.
Yeah, so it's like a safe room.
You're getting a murder movie house.
I'm getting a movie murder house, and I
A
go
movie.
down there. I go down there, I flip the light switch on. I was expecting like a body or something, but it's actually like swept, nice and clean. It's cinder block. It's got a dehumidifier that's like tied into this like drain. It's like perfect. No water like running down. Nothing. It's just
Well, no water running down in your basement is good, unless, of course, we're talking about plumbing, which is
dude,
still
it's
not bad
sick.
not having it. That's
And it's
cool.
got a car and it's got a garage big enough to tint.
Oh, yeah, that's something you don't have currently.
Nope.
So, you mean your cost of living's about to go down and you're going to have a means to add extra income?
Yeah. From the convenience of
That's
my house.
that's cool.
And I live in the hood, so my taxes are about $800 for the whole year.
Oh, that's horse shit. They're higher than that. Are you just guessing, or is that fact?
No, I'm just guessing.
Because I'm just guessing too, but I have heard that Pontiac taxes are high.
And at the end of my street is a savvy slider.
Right now,
Well,
Alex is like 5 blocks from work, but this is not as close.
it's now going to be like 20 to 30 blocks, and one of the blocks is really bad. I don't know if I should drive a bike through it. I'll be fine. I just got to pedal faster. Just that the only sketch park between here and there is that like little bit by the railroad track off Johnson. That's like the
Yeah,
only that's the only
and
sketch.
that area can get a little bit scary, but I'm trying to think. Maybe you can. I mean, you're only like a block off of Walton, so you could really just take Walton down to Telegraph, and that's all decent and got sidewalks. And Telegraph doesn't have sidewalks, so does it? Or does it?
It does. No,
From Walton to
it cut.
Dixie?
No, Walton to Dixie. It does. I think it stops at the county park. There's no sidewalk on the county park, so I'd have to like take the sidewalk that veers off on the county drive and then back over onto Telegraph. So I'd have to like go around the courthouse to stay on the sidewalk.
Dumb.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you got about a month to figure it out.
March 7th. It's my move-in date.
That's exciting. Just keep it low key until you get to know your neighbors.
Oh, I know all the rules. I'm good.
T Town, don't you know in today's society you no longer get to know your neighbors? What you know about your
No,
neighbors is whether they call the police on you if they hear loud noises.
he's from Toledo. I trust that he knows what he's talking about. Dude, I looked at the houses in Toledo. You get a lot of house for dirt cheap. You get like I'm talking like 8 bedrooms for like 80,000. Like
You know, you go to the right parts of Pontiac, you can do the same thing here. Or Detroit or Flint. Flint,
no,
especially.
there was a point where in our house searching where my wife wasn't paying attention where she was looking at on Zillow, and she kept sending me houses that were like really nice looking for super cheap, and then I would look at the address and it would say Toledo, and I'm like, so I guess we're moving towards T Town, huh? I don't think he has enough work to keep us both busy though, so no T Town.
But maybe he does. Maybe he
Nah.
does and he just doesn't know it yet. But it's too late. You already got a house happening here. You also get free lead in your water in Flint. Yeah, once upon a time, I really thought for a minute that Flint was going to be an awesome investment opportunity because you could buy houses cheap and they're going to get the shit sorted out. And when they did, your return on investment was going to be huge. But it does not look like they're going to fix the water issue. It's sad. And the worst part is the old governor that kind of stamped the approval on what caused all that is just scot free and immune to the any kind of fallback. It's sickening how our government works sometimes.
I know. Then there was that whole talk that Elon was going to come in and help fix everything, and it just never happened because Twitter.
That's also the same governor that wanted to keep Elon from selling Teslas in Michigan because Michigan needed to focus on American made cars. And he said that publicly because he's such a genius.
Oh, well, about that time.
It is that time already. And we didn't even cover anything, did we? Did we cover stuff? Did we talk about
I don't
things? Anything?
know. I think it was a pretty spicy one, and we did a little bit of flat glass stat education, so I don't think it was too bad.
Yeah. And sorry if that bored anybody. It is. Yeah, Lobo, we know that Teslas are American, but that wonderful governor of ours that we had didn't know that. Um, that was Schneider. If anybody wants to know, he's, as far as I know, a nobody in society now. I don't think anybody wanted him after that, which is too bad for his wife, I guess, because she probably puts up with him full time now. Um, but
It's
yeah,
probably
that
like
that
Dick Cheney's wife, where she's just like the one that's the driving force behind it all.
well, and Elon Musk, and I don't know if he still is, but at that time, he was actually producing batteries for Teslas in Grand Rapids, which is still giving back to the Michigan economy. I think he pulled that plant though, but I'm not sure. So I don't know. I mean, everything's got repercussions, and I guess it boils down to live and you learn. I guess.
Yep.
I don't know, but hey, everybody, it is that time, and we're gonna come back next week with more stuff to talk about. Oh, Ayana ain't wasting no time getting out of here. She's like 5 o'clock. Bye. So we're going to do the same, guys. You guys have a great week. Hope everybody starts making more money now that taxes should start flowing. And if you need anything, remember, you could just simply type sundistributing.com and I got all of it for you. And if I don't have it, just tell me and I'll get it because that's what I do. So until next time,